Welcome to Philly Legends Podcast. I'm Joe Colari. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And today we have one of my favorite guys in Philadelphia. And I had the opportunity to work with him very briefly, but an unbelievable gentleman. Welcome, Craig White.
Wow. Hey, Joe. How are you, man?
What's up, brother?
Hey, listen, I'm glad to see you, man.
It's
been a minute.
while.
Yes, it has. It
But,
has.
Um,
Seems like only yesterday.
It does. It seems like yesterday.
That's right.
So I did what any other hard-hitting investigative reporter would do. I did a Google search.
Oh, God. Let's leave out the bad stuff.
Now, have you ever done this on yourself?
You know what? I haven't. And somebody said to me the other day, asked me the same question. I was like, I have not, and I probably should. But,
Yeah.
you know, who has time?
So for the folks out there who may not know Craig, here's a little bit on him.
Uh-oh.
Craig White was the chief recording engineer for Philadelphia International Records from October 1993 to February 2014. Is that correct?
That's just about right, because we kept going even after the fire in 2010.
Right.
Mr. Huff still kept going. Mr. Gamble was still going, doing things. And so, yeah, and occasionally I still do things if they need it. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in this role, he was instrumental in recording many of the label's projects and is credited on several Grammy-nominated and Grammy Award-winning albums.
Thank
He
God.
worked with artists associated with the label, including Patti LaBelle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't know this, that you were on the chapter board of the Academy.
Yeah, I was
Music Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. I was the president from. It's going back. I was president for 2 years. I want to say 2008 to 2010.
Okay.
And was on the board from the 90s on through about 2012, 2013.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, it was fun. The Grammys is a good organization. They get
Absolutely.
Get a lot of heat for stuff, and whatever. People always have their musicians and creative people always have their opinion about the Grammys, but I think it's a great organization to be a part of. I always tell people if you're a professional doing this and you're eligible to get on, you should be a member.
And you're from East Orange?
East Orange originally, yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So you're a Jersey boy.
Still here. I'm down here in Washington Township now.
Okay.
But
and I live in Barrington.
Okay.
So
right.
So we're both still Jersey boys. I never lived in Philly.
I lived in Montgomery County. I was in Audubon
for
about 9 years, 10 years, and I loved it out there. So
I think Joe Nicolo's up there.
Funny you would say that. Where Joe is now, and may have been before I moved to Jersey, Joe was literally a half a mile from me.
Okay.
He was on one side.
I've been up there a few times.
Yeah, you've been to the house, and then how do you go up? What's that? Park Avenue and go to?
Yeah.
I lived on Castleberry, which was.
It's beautiful.
And then I lived in Eagleville for a while. I'm not
Turner.
What the hell is the name of that? Not Turnersville. Jeffersonville.
Okay.
For a while, right on Egypt Road. So yeah, we were all in the neighborhood.
Wow.
And I never got by Joe's place when I was there. But I knew he was in the vicinity.
Yeah, I've been there a few times, and
nice studio.
And like we were talking about him prior to this, and I said that hopefully he's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks.
Talk about stories. I know he's got stories.
Oh, jeez, forgot about it.
I mean, these guys, people forget the run that they had when they had the company going.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Lauryn Hill, Criss Cross, you name it. I mean, these guys, they had a run. I can't even remember all the stuff they did, but they had it going.
I was there when they first started, running in and out of their studio, Studio 4.
Right.
And that was really the first studio I ever went into. Had no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
But they held my hand. I think it was Craig Carruth.
I remember that.
And Andy. Andy
Kravitz.
Kravitz. That's it.
Another good guy, talented man. He's still at it too,
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's still doing his thing.
He played on my first record.
Okay.
Yeah, he played percussion and drums, and I was with Doug Grigsby.
Oh, Dougie, God rest his dead. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a rough one when he passed. Yeah.
I know, and I mean the things with Doug. I remember being in his basement in Camden recording songs and him playing the Tough Crew back to me and stuff from Philly World.
Yes.
When that label was around.
Mm-hmm.
And just learning. I was a DJ, so I really didn't know anything. And Doug really took the time and explained things to me with mixing. And we only had a little 8-track thing that we were working on. But he was the first guy, and he produced my first record.
Okay.
Doug did.
Okay. Yeah, Doug was good people, man.
Yeah. At Studio 4 with Andy Kravitz.
Wow.
Let's talk about how I met you.
Yeah, how about that?
You remember?
I know you came in through Huff, I want to say.
Yep.
Okay.
What happened was, everybody has these stories. So I'm spinning records at Escape in Cherry Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a night with Butter. And Paul Martin used to come in all the time.
Good old
And, you're up there spinning. People come up and talk to you. I'm always... That's the one thing I always did. When people came up to the DJ booth and wanted to talk to me, I always talked to them.
Right.
And so Paul would come up every week and we would have a little discussion. I had no idea who Paul was.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day he says to me, I think I'm going to bring Leon Huff up here. So I'm like, really? How do you know Leon? He goes, well, we've been best friends since high school.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know how you just play things off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, that'd be great if you brought him up. I never in a million years ever thought, of course, about maybe a month or 6 weeks later, Paul comes in and I'm up there spinning. He taps me. He says, hey, listen, I brought Leon here to meet you. So I turn around and there's Mr. Huff.
There he is.
And I'm like, you want to talk about being set back because he's one of my idols.
Right.
So that's how that whole thing started. And then he brought me over to the studio and introduced me to you.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you need anything, this is the guy.
Right.
So explain, what you actually did other than the chief engineer, of course. But who were some of the groups that you got to work with? Because it's talking about the Grammy albums and, in your bio.
Right. In my Philly years, I was fortunate enough to work with almost everyone on the roster, with the exception of Teddy. I did not get a chance to work with Teddy, but I did work with Patty, did some projects. We did a lot of stuff on Lou Rawls that is still in the can, and hopefully it sees the light of day one day.
Right.
Did a lot with Billy Paul, had the reincarnation of the Intruders in a couple of times.
Wow.
Like that. So just about everybody and Billy Paul, who I loved. That was my buddy.
I love Billy.
Yeah. So, and of course, there's been so many, I'm probably leaving some people out. Oh, the first thing I did when I got there was what turned out to be her last album. We were in the midst of
Phyllis Hyman.
So that was the first real main project I did. That was 93, 94. Not too long after I got there.
What song was on that album?
Oh man!
If you don't know, or trying to remember,
man, old age is rough, man. Forever with You was, I think, the single.
Okay,
but there were some other things on there too, and I can't remember the whole lineup. If I look at it, it would come right back. But Forever with You was the one. That was the title cut of the album. So I did that one and did some other stuff in there too. Great album.
Loved Phyllis Hyman.
There was a remake of. Oh man, I can hear it in my head. Can't think of the title. But anyway, there were a lot of great songs and there a couple reworks with her doing her version of things and a lot of original stuff too. So it was a great album.
Wow.
Yeah, she was.
What a underrated vocalist.
It's tough, man, in this business. She was in that vein where the R&B crowd, of course, knew her and loved her and idolized her. And interestingly enough, she had done Broadway. Yeah. And Sophisticated Ladies was the star. Somehow that didn't translate into what it could have. And I don't know, back then, we were so weird with markets and genres and what crossed over and what didn't. So, but yeah, she was underrated, except among those of us like you and I who knew
Exactly.
what she could really do. And I mean, she could do everything. She could go hard. She could do ballads. She could do Broadway, jazz, you name it. She could do.
Yeah.
But you know, she had her audience, and they loved her. Still do.
I think there's a clip of Gamble and Huff when they were asked, who's the artist that you think was the most underrated?
Mm-hmm.
And they said Phil Simon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I mean, compared to the commercial notoriety and
Right.
that whole thing, yes. But in terms of talent and ability, man, she sing most of them under the table. I wish I had a chance to record her. I didn't. I mixed several things on the album.
Okay.
Didn't get, and it wasn't too long after I got there that she passed. We were sort of, like I said, in the middle of finishing it up, and
Right.
I walked in the office one day, and Mr. Gamble said, "You hear about Phyllis?" No,
Wow.
I thought she had won an award or something. And he said, "No, she's gone."
Wow.
So that was that.
Yep. You know, the other thing I remember when going over to the studio with Mr. Huff and meeting you, of course, then he took me in the studio where the Jacksons recorded.
Yeah.
And I can visually see it with the orange. I guess it was like an orange type carpet.
Yeah, carpet. Yep. Orange and orange, yellow, and like a tan thing motif.
It was,
and it was
looked
good
like
old
it was
shag.
still the 70s.
Oh, it was. It was the carpet.
Wow.
When Joe Tarsia modified the room. That room actually went back to before Gamble and Huff. That was actually Cameo Parkway's building.
Okay.
So Chubby Checker and all those guys.
Yep.
But I used to run into Chubby, say, "Hey man, you still working at the house that Chubby built?" We laughed. But yeah, that studio was a great room, man. And somehow it worked. If you looked at it, the way it was constructed and all, Tarsia was just such a genius that he had it set up to where it was very vibey and comfortable, but sonically it worked. And it worked well.
Now, that studio that you were in, was that considered Studio 2?
Well, no, the one we're talking about now is the one I was in. We built Mr. Huff another room. You may have gone in Huff's personal room.
Okay.
At some point, because we built him one later on. But no, the one studio that we had going, that I believe that it was called Sigma Studio 4.
Right.
See, Joe was very smart. He wanted everything to say recorded at Sigma Sound.
Right.
Even though it wasn't 12th Street, it was 309 South Broad. But it was because he was operating it at that time. It was Studio 4. And after he phased himself out, we kept that going because there's no need to not say that. So it turned into Gamble Huff Studios after that, but we kept the Sigma Studio 4 sign up.
Right. The reason why I asked that was I was interviewing Tom Moulton.
Ah.
And Tom used to work at the 12th Street.
Right.
And when that marriage came with him doing all the Philly International remixes, he said that Gamble asked him to come to 309.
Right.
And he called it a different studio, but I mean, he blew my mind.
Who, Tom? Tom is another level.
The stories that he has with the Tramps.
Oh yeah.
And all the remixes that he did. I mean, you know, my collection and the things that I did in the nightclubs, I basically took his versions and edited them. That's all that I did.
Okay.
Because they were 17 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, in the club, you can't play the song 17 minutes.
Right.
They were incredible mixes. Oh, yeah. I love the way that he stretched out things and just having the opportunity to talk to him. Mm-hmm. It was, because for me, these are the guys that I looked up to, you know, Gamble and Huff, Tom Moulton, John Madera. Mm-hmm. All these guys played a part in, you know, my developing.
Right.
And then getting to meet you. I mean, I learn from everyone that I have the opportunity to meet. That's what I try to do.
Well, you should. I'm still learning. Trust me, I've been in this game 50
you never
years.
Stop.
You
never stop.
You never stop.
What's the favorite artist that you worked with?
Wow. That's a tough one because I like a lot of them for different reasons.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Some of them you
absolutely.
like because they're just great people. Some of them you look at them and you know this is like some otherworldly talent that is a gift from God. You can never replicate what some of
Right.
them can do. And then some of them just knew how to sing a record. I mean, it's real hard to pick a favorite.
Okay.
I could probably tell you some that are not so favorite, but we won't do that today. But
That would be the real scoop.
no, we don't want to do that. But hard to pick a. It really, and I mean, I before my Philly days when I was up in New York doing things, I was on a Celine Dion record. I did
Right.
an album with Kool and the Gang. A lot of gospel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of gospel. Some of the Grammy nominated and Grammy winning stuff was with the gospel artist James Cleveland. So
Wow.
it's you know if I
It's the
throw
whole evolution of this business.
it's so much, man. And I was lucky. I was very blessed to be able to work with all of the people that I work with.
Hell, you know,
And not even mentioning New York, my whole salsa era. I worked with
wow.
a gentleman who was the major salsa producer now, Sergio George. I did a lot of
Oh
work with
yeah.
Serge. So we did Tito Puente and we did,
Yeah.
just all of it, whatever was happening in Latin music in the 90s before I came here.
Right.
So it's I've been lucky, man. It's really, if I go back and look at it, it's really interesting the variety of stuff that I've done, and I loved all of it. I mean, I could do a salsa record today, and I still do. I mixed a couple of salsa records recently. Then I can do a gospel record the next day, and then there's a gentleman in Philly, Carl Cox, tenor sax player, just did a song with him.
Wow.
Ashley Scott is another vocalist here in
Yeah.
Philly. I just did.
I heard that track. I love it.
Thank you. I did six
Yeah.
songs on his new album. So I mean, I can do a variety of things and be very happy. And I don't really have a favorite. It's
Okay.
that's a long way of saying that I don't have a favorite artist.
So in the beginning, what made you want to get into this business?
Another good question. I didn't know I wanted to be in it the way I'm in it now.
Okay.
Like a lot of people in my age group, when the Beatles and those kind of people started happening,
Yep.
I was a trumpet
We're
player.
probably in the same age group.
We're close. We're north.
Yeah.
We're north of 60. We'll just leave it.
Oh yeah.
We'll leave
Absolutely.
it. We'll leave it there since
Yeah.
we're still in this youth-oriented business.
I'm over mid north of
Yeah,
60.
I might be right there with you. But I was playing trumpet. Started playing trumpet in fourth grade in school. As we could do then. Unfortunately, that's not. These kids now don't have that advantage of school.
I know.
And it's sad. That's a whole nother conversation. But started playing trumpet, started doing a little cover band, as a lot of us did. Was a music major in college briefly until the band started doing road trips, and that was the end of college. And I always had an interest in sound as a child. My early memory of one Christmas, I, for some reason, wanted a tape recorder. Have no idea why. I couldn't tell you. Just, God put stuff in your head, and that's what
Absolutely.
I wanted a tape recorder, and that's when we had the little little 3-inch little reels with the crystal microphone and the blah, blah. And I was recording everything you could record. I was recording stuff off the TV with the mic, sticking the mic out the window, recording birds and cars. And really had no idea, but I was always fascinated with sound. So when I started doing the band thing, somebody had to handle the PA equipment, so that would be me. And I always laugh. I tell people I kind of got known on the circuit for being the guy that played trumpet with the right hand on the valves and working the board with the left hand from stage, with half-ass monitors we could barely hear. But you get a feel for the room and you start knowing what to do. So, and we always recorded rehearsals. We always had a reel to reel. Even before 4-track, we had a 2-track reel to reel. We would always record the rehearsals. We would record gigs if we could, whatever. So by learning and doing, and I'm one of those read the manual guys. If I get a piece of gear before I even touch it, I'm in the book. So, it evolved. So when the road thing and the band thing got tough, got a little bored and a little weary of that thing, I just segued full time into engineering.
Wow.
And that's how it went. I mean, now you're talking over a 20-year period, but that's kind of how
exactly.
That's how I ended up. So once I got into business, it was engineering full time. That was it for me.
So your first gigs were in New York.
First engineering gigs we had studios in Jersey.
Okay.
The gospel stuff, believe it or not, there was a little studio in East Orange called
Okay.
Ears. And people who remember that era, Ears was Naughty by Nature, the Fugees before they were the Fugees, and a whole
Right.
bunch of other people used to come in there and do sessions. The gospel stuff, there was a producer, Milton Bigham, who I worked with, who was the head of Savoy Records, which was the big gospel label at the time. And so I did a lot of work with Milton, and that's how the whole Grammy nominated and Grammy thing happened with that.
Okay.
So when I left East Orange, I came to Philly. I originally came here to just record, fix Gamble's studio. He had some problems with the studio and some wiring. The console was about to die, and a bunch of stuff. So he had been getting some recommendations, and he asked me what I thought.
Okay.
And I gave him some recommendations. I took he and Huff up to New York to look at some gear, and they liked it, and we put it in. So basically, I renovated the room and kind of never left.
I was going to ask you, how'd you wind up in Philly? But
yeah, that's it.
you answered it.
Yeah, well, in full disclosure, Kenny Gamble is a cousin of mine. We're
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're blood cousins. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a second cousin of mine.
Wow.
My mom was his mom's aunt. So
what a talented guy.
Oh, that guy, man. Yeah, we don't have enough time for me to tell you all the funny Gamble stories. And that's just from my time with him. Now, there's stuff that goes back. He's a different human being. I'll just put it that. He is. He's an exceptional guy. I have not ever met anybody like Gamble. And to an extent, Mr. Huff too. But Mr. Huff is chill. So
yeah, Mr. Huff's. I mean, I didn't really get to hang with Gamble a lot.
He's a funny man.
I met him a couple times, so you can fill me in on him. But with Mr. Huff, very reserved, quiet.
Yep.
And it was so funny because at that point, I was in Cherry Hill, and I had a little studio in my garage.
Right.
No air conditioning.
Wow.
And this is summer, and it's like 95.
Oh, man.
I mean, it is hot. I was used to working out there. It didn't bother me. And I was working on The Love I Lost.
Okay.
So he had called me and said, how things going? I said, there's a little part here. I'm probably going to call James Lloyd from Pieces of a Dream to come over and play a part on it that I'm hearing. And he was like, well, where do you live? And I go, I'm in Cherry Hill. He goes, so am I. So it wound up him being probably 2 miles from where I lived. So he's like, well, listen, why don't I just come over? You have a keyboard there? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, well, how about if I come over and just lay a part down? And I'm like, well, I got to tell you, Mr. Huff, it's like 95 in here. It's not pleasant. And he's like, well, how do you think I started, Joe? That's what he said to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, hey, listen, if you want to come over and sweat.
Right.
And he came over.
Oh, yeah.
And I let him in, and I'm thinking to myself, now this was right around the time when they were getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right, okay.
As writers and producers.
Yep.
It was like 2002.
Yeah, 2002,
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because he comes over, and I'm a little embarrassed, but it's hot. And he comes in, and I got the keyboard, and he lays down these parts, and we're both like soaking sweat. And he says, yeah, I'm going to be away for a few days. And that's when they went and got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right, went up to New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a night, I can say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I'm like, so he came over like the day before to lay down some keyboard parts in my 95-degree garage. I mean, and he used to come over and like he took me to Loretta's.
Oh yeah, the hi-hat, right?
Oh yeah, in Camden.
Oh yeah.
So he called me up. He said, "Hey Joe, you want to go over to Loretta's? Grace is going to be there. They had a studio over the top. You know what I'm talking about, right?"
Yep.
And I was like, "Yeah." He came over and picked me up, and we went over, and I mean, it was just an absolute thrill for me as a kid, knowing who Gamble and Huff were, because I was always the kid who had on WHAT and WDAS. And I was big into R&B as a child. And, always hearing his name and then having the opportunity to, be in the same room.
Right.
It was just amazing.
See, the
So
thing
for
about those,
you being around these guys all the time.
yeah, but the thing about those guys, I was just about to say, what people don't realize, and I guess, public perception is always one thing, but
Right.
they're regular guys.
Regular guys.
They don't roll with the starism. They don't
Nope.
roll with the I'm so and so. They don't roll like that. They're just regular cats. If Mr. Huff knows there's a keyboard there, he's playing it. You know what I mean? He just and he's music. He's music, and music is him.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mr. Gamble. If there's
Yep.
they're all about music. They're about being creative guys. They're about having fun with stuff, and they don't do the pretense and all that.
No.
Thing. There's no superstar ego with them at all.
No, he came over 95 degrees, said, "What did you have in mind?" I gave him, and he just sat, laid it down like
that's him. Killing.
And I was like, "We don't need to do anything else.
Yeah,
I don't want to keep you here."
Right. No, but it doesn't take him long, man. Once he hears a song,
he came in
once or twice, it's done.
Yep, it was 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and
sounds right.
And I was like, "Yep, that's what I needed. I just need this little change part." And he knocked it out like bing bang.
That's what he does.
And I'm thinking to myself, here's a guy who's just played on like so many major hit records.
Yeah.
And he's in my garage, 95 degrees, laying down keyboard lines.
Because he's all about music. You said I need you to play. He said I'm on the way.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even say he's the one that came up with it.
Right.
Because I said, well, I'll call James and I'll have him come over and lay this part down that I'm hearing in my head.
Right.
And he's like, well, no, wait a minute, where you at? And
right.
I'm like, boom, boom. Next thing I know, he's there.
Oh yeah.
I'm running around trying to pick shit up and
trying to get a little neater before. Yeah. No, man. They don't stand on ceremony. Now you will not disrespect them if they feel disrespect.
I mean, well, I wouldn't even think of that.
I've seen them check people politely if the respect wasn't what it should have been. But generally, those guys, man, they're just about music and about having a good time, and that's why they were successful. They didn't get in their own way. Let's put it
exactly.
Yeah.
And it was fun going over to just knowing the history of the building,
right?
And taking the elevator up and walking in there. I remember it was a couple of the guys from the OJs were there the first day that I came in.
Okay.
And I guess they had stopped in to talk to someone or whatever. And I'm
depending
thinking to
myself, on when that was, they may have been. I know we had them in a couple of times recording things on stuff that ended up being on an album that was released later.
Okay.
That was one of those days I saw Mr. Gamble write a bridge in 5 minutes. Literally. I mean, wow. I don't know how much forethought he put into it, but there was a song that needed a different vocal treatment on this particular 8-bar bridge.
Wow.
And I'm sitting right next to him and he's going for it. And
you just think of the songs they wrote.
But man, when you see somebody write a bridge in 5 minutes,
insane.
It's
nuts. That's insane.
I mean, and off the dome. Like I said, he may have thought about it prior to that, but I had the impression it was coming to him then. And then he taught it to Eddie, and Eddie learned it in about 4 minutes. And and we cut it. It's crazy.
That's insane.
I mean, that's stuff like that you just don't see. Like, Eddie's son, Gerald Levert, he was another one. Gerald would come in and 1 or 2 takes, he'd eat the mic up and he'd be done. And you had it.
What a shame.
We would do a take, and really that was the take. And then he would do another, because we said, no, let's do a safety just in case. But the first one was the one.
So many great people from Philadelphia, even the artists like Billy Paul you were talking about. I got to know Billy and Blanche.
Oh yeah.
Tony Luke.
Yep, my buddy.
Tony had written a song.
Yeah.
And Billy recorded it, and I had gone in the studio. I laid down a little like rap part in it, like as a reference for a rap part. So I got to meet Billy. I was holding his Grammy that he got for me and Mrs. Jones at his apartment.
Yep.
And as the years went by, I got to hang out with him a few times.
Yep.
And Always a gentleman. And that was another thing that I remember in 8th grade in art class. We were allowed to play records, 45s. Our
Oh,
teacher would, and the record I always brought in was Me and Mrs. Jones.
okay. That was a good
So,
one.
yep, I played it over and over,
Yeah,
wore it out.
a good one, man.
And then I get the opportunity to be in the studio with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. And Bobby Eli was another.
Oh yeah, Bobby.
Yep.
Just
Bobby was another
so many
guy who,
guys, man.
yep. I mean, all these guys are gone, but
Yeah.
he was another guy who said, "Hey, Joe, come over to the studio, hang out."
Mm-hmm.
And I spent like a whole summer there with with Bobby.
Right.
And the stories,
Oh
forget
yeah.
about it.
I mean, it's forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So what do you have going on now?
Doing a lot of mixing, and it's nice because people are doing some really good creative stuff. But like I said earlier, everybody's got a studio, so
Right.
it doesn't always go down the way it should go down. Now, having said that, there's some really great producers who I work with. They send me stuff to mix, and their stuff is
Sure.
spot on. But it's nice to be able to take something that maybe didn't start off so well and then be able to get it to the finish line and have it be successful and have the client be happy and all of that.
Absolutely.
So I'm doing, and like I said, same old Craig. I'm doing some gospel, some smooth jazz, a rock thing. I got a hip hop artist that just sent me something to mix. Okay, I'm very blessed to be able to have
Awesome.
enough facility to do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really a lot of that, a lot of mixing. The Ashley Scott, Carl Cox, the Williams sisters, a gospel group, their record just dropped. So, and all of this stuff is just either people I know or I go way back with. And, and then some like Carl I just met recently, a year or so ago. I did 3 songs on his first album that I worked with him on. And I did one on the new one. So it's, I'm having fun. I'm living the dream.
Well, you know what? Send me the links, and
I
what
will.
I'll do is I'll include them in the end of our interview
cool.
here,
I will do that.
so that people can go and hear what you're doing.
Yeah, because all of them are out now. All 4 of them are Carl's records and Ashley stuff and the Williams sisters. And do you remember? I don't know if you know these guys. You ever hear the Chestnut Brothers from Philly?
No.
They're a vocal group, and they did a remake of Sadie that I mixed last year.
Spinners.
Yeah, amazing. These
Wow.
guys, the Chestnut Brothers did, and they're older cats. They're up there with us.
Wow.
But
I'd love to hear it.
That version that they did vocally, it's sick.
Wow.
Oh yeah, so I'll send you that.
I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, it's killing. It's unbelievable. So I mean, that's the fun for me. I mean, I can just get all of this fun stuff to do when it comes.
Absolutely.
We're having a ball, man.
I got one more question for you.
Sure.
What was the difference between going from the analog?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I knew you were going to. I said, he's going to ask me about it.
To the digital. Because, I mean, I know as a DJ, it was a big step.
Sure. But I guess going from vinyl to now CDs or MP3s or whatever
it's
use.
MP3s now.
Let me put it this way. Because I was around before any of that shit happened. I mean,
exactly. Same here.
I predate cassettes. So, you know what I mean? And so I know.
Grease pencil and a razor blade.
Kidding? But here's the thing. I love analog for the front, what we call the front end.
Right.
I love preamps, compressors, signal chain being analog is great. I hated tape when it was all we had. I detested tape because you'd listen to what you were putting onto the tape. You'd hear the line in signal from the board and you'd print it and that thing played back something that you didn't intend. So then you have to start doing all this choreography in your head. Okay, well, the bass drum, I got to not do so much 60 hertz because I want that thump, but it's going to, the tape's going to give me 100 hertz bump, and depending on what tape speed you were in, you get different low end response.
Absolutely.
I can't have it be too clear because the tape compression is going to take my highs away, so I got to add more highs. It was too much. I hated tape. What I did like about tape was the tactile aspect of it. From, like you say, cutting tape, aligning the deck, cleaning the machines. I loved all of that stuff. But in terms
Everclear.
Man, listen, the way tapes sounded, I hated, but I loved everything else about it. So when digital came, the first mix we did back in the day when we were first trying to figure out, even before DAT tapes and all of that, we used to mix into either Sony 1630s or
Yeah.
the VHS equivalent. The first time I heard it had to be 8-bit digital. I said, give me that. I need that right there. So the transition for me, once digital came, man, I was in heaven. And we continued with analog at Philly International up through about 97, 98. We were still doing 2-inch. But
Really?
I slowly started segueing Pro Tools into it. And
Right.
at first we were just doing archival stuff with Pro Tools and like that. But then I was able to start exclusively cutting the Pro Tools. And then we just use our 2-inch decks to get transfers and start to archive stuff. And that was the other big thing real quick, that was the other thing that was very gratifying with my time there with Gamble and Huff. We were able to archive from analog to digital a good amount of stuff. We didn't do as much as we wanted to.
Well, that would be one of my questions.
We did
having
did
access to that.
Oh man,
to all those, back in the day.
You talk about heaven. When you put, and again, all of our mentors in Philly, Joe Tarsia, when you put those tapes up and you park all of the faders at 0, the record is damn near mixed.
Isn't it insane?
Joe would cut that thing to a science. It would almost be done when it was cut. The only thing that happened in mixing, he had a little something here and pan a little something there, and he had all kind of techniques to get stuff to be the way he wanted. So yes, listening to those tapes and listening to stuff that was done on 16 track,
right,
that sounded like monstrous. I said, this guy's a genius.
That's insane.
He's the secret weapon at all of that stuff. Joe was.
Wow.
Because he would cut stuff, and then of course he then groomed the whole Jim Gallagher, Peter Humphreys, J. Mark, Arthur Stoppy, all these guys that work with him. I know I'm leaving people I can't remember everybody.
Yeah.
But Joe had a system, and he made sure the cats adhered to a certain standard. And so the product coming out of Sigma was always consistent. Therefore, Gamble and Huff's product was always consistent. And then that led to them getting Elton John and David Bowie and whoever.
I was going to bring that up.
Oh, man, Sigma was
and Tina Marie recorded there religiously, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody. Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, Tom Bell, who was the third leg of the Mighty Three. Can't leave Tommy out.
I mean, Tom Bell, you want to talk about not brought up enough.
Yeah.
Tom Bell is incredible.
And if you look at his track record and the amount of records he's done, he's right up there. I mean, Gamble and Huff, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But Tommy and his world,
absolutely
equal thing. And you talk about a crazy man.
John Maduro was telling me that he was good friends with him, and he would pick him up. They both had a hobby of collecting fish. They had fish tanks. So John Maduro said, I would go over and pick up Tom, and we would drive up to the pet store and pick out fish. And then I would drop, he didn't have a car.
Right.
I would take him home, drop him off, and I would go home. And then the next time we met, we would talk about the fish. And I'm like, these are the kind of stories
right.
that are insane.
It's classic, man. Tommy Bell.
Absolutely.
Tommy was nothing short of a genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in modern day times, Dexter Wansell reminds me very much of Tommy. They had the same kind of intuitive, hear stuff in their head. Dexter can hear a string line and they say, go to the paper, write it down. No keyboard, just write it. I mean, amazing guy.
They hear this in their heads, and it comes out.
Yep. Did a lot of work with Dex. Dex is a good cat, man. He's still active. He's still writing, still producing. He's still touring. I'd
love to talk to him.
Oh, you should call him. I'll send you his contact information.
Okay, good.
Dex is,
what a fascinating guy.
Oh, man, you kidding? When synthesis started, he was a pioneer with synthesis. Yeah. Synthesizers were first beginning to happen. Dexter embraced it and brought it to
absolutely
early on.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on.
Dex is the truth.
There's so many people that are involved in the sound of Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. John being one of them. Yeah. I mean, when you hear the whole story, it's Gamble and Huff. I get it.
Right.
And they put out, and rightfully so. I mean, they've written so many great songs, produced, and just geniuses. But the Tom Bells, the John Madeira, there's so many people that McFadden and Whitehead.
Oh, I mean, Absolutely.
They were all part of that, and it was like, the DJs, the High-Lits, the Butterballs, the Jockos, that's all part of it.
All part of it. That whole consortium made all of that Philly era happen.
Yes,
and it wouldn't have happened without any. Like if there was no Butter,
exactly.
I mean, Gamble and Huff would have had some success, but Butter helped drive that thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's you got all of that going on.
And the stories that I got from Butter over the years, and I guess we worked together for a little bit over 8 years,
Right.
doing 2 separate nightclubs, and just standing there and listening to him.
Oh yeah.
I just shut my mouth and listened.
Just listen, just soak it up. I know, man. It's a lot.
This is insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It is, man. And all of the groups that came out, I mean, speaking of Tommy, with the Delphonics, with the Spinners,
with
the
Linda Creed,
with come on, Craig. Anyway, it's all gonna come to me.
I mean, there's so many. We're so fortunate in this area, because of the rich history.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just amazing.
Right. The Stylistics was the name I was trying to think.
Yeah, Stylistics.
Russell Time.
I mean, and you're part of it.
Well, Russell, I didn't have anything to do with this, but Russell just dropped a single. And you know who is still active, and I am doing some things with him that I'm really excited about. I'm not going to say too much about it because it's still kind of in the...
Okay.
Will Hart, who is
the
last surviving Delphonic.
Yes.
And Will has got some stuff with a producer guy that we're working with out of L.A. And Will and this guy are coming up with some stuff that's really, really interesting.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's just, stuff going on.
I'd like to hear Russ stuff, too.
I want to say he released a single not long ago. Google it. It's probably
I'll
out
have
there.
to Google it.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
But, man, it's just so much stuff, man.
It is. It's
You're
never
still
ending.
at it. I'm still at it. We're all still at it. But we don't know how to do anything else. We're doing what we do.
I mean, that's really the I think once you have it in your blood,
yeah,
it's that's it.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's
of
what
course,
you spend the rest of your life doing.
Sure, and we all do it because we need to make the money. But if I was like rich, I'd still do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's just what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate the time, Craig. What a great time. Great talking to you. Haven't seen you in a while.
I know, man.
And I appreciate it. We got to hook up.
Yeah, we got to, man. So we're not that far apart.
No,
we get together.
No, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, well, it's good to be with you. It really is.
Absolutely. I just I remember in the beginning and how welcoming everybody was.
Oh yeah,
and just for me, an unbelievable experience that I'll never forget.
Neither will I, bud. Trust me. This has been, I look back now, I've been in Philly since 93. So it's, got a few years down here. And it's been a good few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound, when you say, 93, it doesn't sound that long.
No, it doesn't.
Until you start counting the years.
So you do the math, right? And you say, oh, wait a minute. Say, it's been a while.
It's just amazing. I mean, for me, everything seems surreal now.
Right.
And a lot of the things that I got to experience, if I wasn't there, I wouldn't believe it.
That's true.
So,
and when I talk to people like you and you ask me questions and it brings back stuff that I, as you age, you don't need it in the forefront. It goes away. You know what I mean? So when you ask, when you bring up things and you say, wow, we did do that. I remember that. We did that. So you're right. It brings up a lot. It's a lot of
unbelievable.
Fun. Yeah, man.
I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
And I look forward to running into you.
Yeah, we got to do it.
I want to hear some of your stuff that you're doing.
I'll send you some links, and we got to get together. And if you're down this way, stop by the studio here and
absolutely
blow your ears out.
I'm ready, man.
I know you are.
These ears are already blew out, so it doesn't matter.
Man, tell me about it. I'm glad I can still hear above 10K. It's amazing.
Well, thanks again, Craig. I appreciate
You're welcome,
it.
buddy. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too, Joe. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Right.